Om Bhurбhuvassuham Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayantam.
Sairam, we continue our memories, stories about Sathya Sai Baba, our beloved Swami, and all the stories I'm just taking from my own book. At the moment I published 3 books with my personal memories about Sathya Sai Baba, because I spent really years and years in Put Party and was lucky to be Sathya Sai, a translator for the Russian-speaking groups. So it means a lot of stories, very important spiritual instructions and miracles performed by our Swami. And in this video we continue to discuss a very interesting story actually about how Swami established secret ashram in Himalayas, and the name of this ashram is Guha Ashram. And the location, actually, we know it's near holy city of Badrinath in Himalayas, in the area of mount. The name of this mount is Narayana Parvata. Okay, that's actually my 3rd video about this story, this cave ashram. So, and our basic source about this cave ashram, mysterious secret cave ashram established by Sathya Sai, the main source is book written by a great Sai devotee whose name was Swami Maheshwarananda, and he wrote his wonderful, brilliant, great book, inspirational book, which is Sathya Sai Baba and Narayana Guha Ashram. Well, this book, written and published in the end of 80s, it became very famous pretty fast, and I was lucky to meet Swami Maheshwarananda personally in the beginning, in the middle of 90s, and actually my personal communication with the Swami Maheshwarananda is also one more source for me, for my book, source of information about this mysterious Himalayan cave ashram. Actually, Guha Ashram, this is the name of this ashram. Guha means cave, and cave not only physical cave, but cave of the spiritual heart. That is inner esoteric meaning of this word, this term, Guha. Well, Swami Maheshwarananda came to Put Party, that was 1978, and 2 persons from North India came to Put Party in 1982. So one of them Acharya, another one Govinda, and actually through that 2 people, Govinda and Acharya, actually Sathya Sai established this ashram, and I believe that it was something like 1982 or 83. It's questionable exactly the date of when that cave ashram was established by Swami, but it's 1982 or 83. And 1986, some yogis from that ashram, they came back to Put Party for a while. Of course, secretly, it was no public event, because the ashram itself at that moment was absolutely like secret project. Well, and the very interesting mission was prepared by Swami for, Swami Maheshwarananda, author of this famous book, because this Swami Maheshwarananda, he wrote this book, Sathya Sai Baba and Narayana Guha Ashram, because first of all he met all that 11 yogis through whom Sathya Sai established this ashram. And first of all, Swami Maheshwarananda met two of them, then plus like all the rest in Puttaparthi. And then Sathya Sai blessed Swami Maheshwarananda to just go to Himalayas, to the Badrinath area, and stay for a while in this mysterious ashram. Because Swami Maheshwarananda's mission was to write this book. Of course, to write the book, you have to stay there for a while. Yeah, and that's the reason why Sathya Sai blessed Maheshwarananda Swami just to go for a while, for a few months, and stay there, see the place, collect the stories, and then write a book itself. It's a very interesting philosophical question as well, why and for what Sathya Sai established this ashram. And of course, my answer is very simple. I don't know. This is the divine plan. I can't know why and for what Sathya Sai established this ashram. But anyway, that was some special necessity for the existence of this ashram. And of course, we have to remember that Badrinath is a very special place, very special location, the most holy place in Himalayas. So it means that was certain meaning to that. Yeah. And Badrinath was only the place to which Sathya Sai himself went to pilgrimage number of times. That's amazing story by itself. Can you imagine the divine incarnation of our time, Sri Sathya Sai? He went to pilgrimage. How it's possible that God himself become pilgrim? But that's the special meaning of Badrinath area. So Sathya Sai indicating that, like, come on guys, pay attention, Badrinath is very special, because even Sathya Sai himself went there for the pilgrimage purpose, like kind of 5 or 6 times in his life. Okay, what we know about this ashram, like outside of the book? Let us say that first of all, we know that location of this ashram is just very near to the Badrinath, and it's Narayana Parvatam, and it's actually cave ashram, which is quite a pretty big cave, with many entrances, with many corridors. Like, it's a big cave, it's not a small one, because in the very beginning, so we know that 11 Sai devotees just came there for the beginning of this ashram. But later on, in 90s, that what I have as the sure information from Swami Maheshwarananda himself. So sometimes it was 20, 25, and sometimes even more practitioners, yoga practitioners were staying there. And some of them permanently, some of them could come with the Swami's blessing, with the Sathya Sai blessings, just for a few months or a few years to receive certain spiritual training or education, we can say. And actually, in the middle of 90s, Sathya Sai announced in Puttaparthi officially that no more Guha Ashram in Himalayas, so he closed it. When I came to know about this official statement of the ashram, it was a kind of a shock for me. How possible such a wonderful project no more? And I went directly to the Swami Maheshwarananda room, I remember, and of course he explained me the situation behind this official statement of the Puttaparthi ashram. Actually, Swami Maheshwarananda, he published his great book, which is Sathya Sai Baba Narayana Guha Ashram, in the end of 80s, and it became very famous just kind of immediately. And what was the result? Many devotees, okay, read this book, and of course mostly people just read book and say, okay, how wonderful, that's all. But some of the devotees decided to go to Himalayas and find this cave ashram, and that was the problem, because you can go to this ashram only if you have Sathya Sai's blessing. If you don't have permission, no point to go. It means you don't need it, or maybe you're not ready for that. But people, just without understanding of the traditional approach to the situation, I mean, traditionally, if you wish to go there, you have to receive blessing, actually. So just many small groups, I know personally, many small groups, Indians, Americans, Germans, Russians, who just, sometimes alone, sometimes 2-3 people join together and just go to Himalayas. That's what happened in the beginning of 90s, in the middle of 90s as well. And I can understand the situation because, inspiration was so great after reading that book that it really was difficult not to try to go. But that was anyway problem, because to go to Himalayas just with the goal to find some mysterious ashram, it's also dangerous. You can go straight into the mountains, you can just die, and it's a dangerous trip. And also it's not proper to disturb all that practitioners who are really just receiving training, yogic training, meditation training there. You don't need to disturb them. If you are not invited, then it's not good to go there. So that's the reason why Sathya Sai told in the middle of the 90s that, okay, come on, this project is over. Like Guha Ashram closed, end of the story. But Swami Maheshwarananda, he smiled and he explained to me that, come on, don't worry, actually the ashram is still open even now, but just that was official announcement just to protect the ashram from, so-called visitors. And it really works. All that, it really works, because I know that quite many people stopped this attempt to go there. Well, in the second half of 90s, I met 2 yogis from Guha Ashram, and for me, the story of Guha Ashram is very real one, because first of all, I made friendship with Swami Maheshwarananda himself, who is author of the book and who was there himself. He is the main witness of this ashram, and also through Swami Maheshwarananda I met 2 yogis in the second half of 90s, 2 yogis from that ashram. And actually sometimes some yogis from this Guha ashram could visit Puttaparthi, of course secretly, but it was, sometimes happened. And so I met 2 yogis, and it was very important for me to meet them, because at that time they spent some few months in Puttaparthi, and I was just always mixing with them, discussing Kriya Yoga meditation, Bija Mantra meditation, many other topics which are important for me. And for me it was really cool to meet these 2 yogis. And first of all, if you read book, okay, book is just somebody's story, who knows, maybe it's true or maybe not, but when you meet somebody personally, from that ashram, then it's really something special, means that's the proof. And of course, it's a big question what's going on with this Guha ashram at the moment. what's going on there. That's the big question. Maybe we'll discuss that in the future, but that's very interesting. It's very interesting to know. I don't want to encourage you to go there and try to penetrate, this secluded place. No. I don't want to advise you to go. I advise you to go to Badrinath, but better not to try to find this cave ashram. I mean to say, if Swami's blessing will be with you, then of course you will go and see the place yourself. But in the end of this video, I wish to say a few obvious things that, okay, the main goal, the main question for the spirituality is self-inquiry. Self-inquiry, in Sanskrit we call it Atma Vichara, self-inquiry, and this is the main question, to awake, to self-realize, if we can describe it in such a way, like, absolute consciousness, God consciousness in your spiritual heart. This is the main question, this is the point. And you can be family person, or you can be monk. Okay, Hindu, Buddhist, or Christian monk. You can be male or female. You can be rich or poor. You can stay in a big city like New York, Moscow, Beijing, New Delhi, London, whatever. You can stay in a small village. You can stay in Puttaparthi. You can stay in Himalayas. It doesn't matter, because important is self-inquiry. And as you know pretty well, that Sathya Sai never told that everyone must become hermit or monk or go to the Himalayan cave. Nothing like that. Sathya Sai's message was about devotion to God and self-inquiry. That's in a couple of words. What is the message? Be devotee and practice self-inquiry. And then third one, of course, serve to the community. And for that, you don't need actually to go to Himalayas. You can stay where you stay. You can just support your family and community, and that's spirituality all about. But at the same time, it's really a very interesting fact, all that stories about this Himalayan ashram. So, Sai Ram, God bless all of us. See you next time.
Om Bhurбhuvah Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayantam